Welcome to the 2021 Nový PORG Poetry Recital Competition. We're very grateful again to bring you this competition with the support of René Selikovic at the British Council, who has kindly donated our prizes this year and also participated as an accuracy judge, thanks to her. We've had another interesting year, but yet again you've managed to delight and enthrall our judges with your amazing renditions of an enormous range of poems. From the American literary canonical powerhouse Walt Whitman to the 19th century French poet and essayist Charles Baudelaire, right the way up to the present day with the Indian-born Canadian poet Rupi Kaur. As ever, our judges have scored each entry across a range of criteria, including accuracy, delivery, articulation, and physical presence. The judges have continued to be thrilled with each performance, and it's been wonderful to see returning entrants participate with even greater energy and expression, honing their recital skills with each passing year. So let's enjoy a selection of the recitals with accompanying feedback and hearty Christmas wishes from Douglas Hart, one of our judges, and do watch to the very end, as we have something a little bit different to round off this year's Nový PORG Poetry Recital Competition. Enjoy.
The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. And then there are days when the simple act of breathing leaves us exhausted. It seems easier to give up on this life. The thought of disappearing brings us peace. For so long, I was lost in a place where there was no sun, where there grew no flowers. But every once in a while, out of the darkness, something I loved would emerge and bring me to life again. Witnessing a starry sky, the lightness of laughing with old friends, a reader who told me the poems have saved their life. And yet there I was, struggling to save my own. My darlings, life is difficult. It is difficult for everybody. And it is at that moment, when living feels like crawling through a pin-sized hole, that we must resist the urge of succumbing to bad memories, refuse to bow before bad months or bad years. 'Cause our eyes are starving to feast on this world. There are so many bodies of waters for us to dive in. There is family, blood, or chosen, the possibility of falling in love with people and places. Hills high like the moon. Valleys that roll into new worlds and road trips. I find it deeply important to accept that we are not masters of this world. We are her visitors. And like guests, let's enjoy this place like a garden. Let's treat it with a gentle hand so the ones after us can experience it too. Let's find our own sun, grow our own flowers. The universe delivered us with the light and the seeds. We might not hear it at times, but the music is always on. It just needs to be turned on louder. For as long as there is breath in our lungs, we must keep dancing.
Hi, Marie. Mr. Hart here. I just watched your performance of We Must Keep Dancing, and very impressed. You did a great job. Great presence, your pronunciation, your intonation, your tone, all were just right on the spot. And I just think you pulled it off masterfully. So well done. You're a good actress, a good performer, and I hope you keep doing this sort of thing. Have a Merry Christmas.
The Farmer and the Queen by Shel Silverstein. She's coming, the farmer said to the owl. Oh, what shall I do? Shall I bow when she comes? Shall I twiddle my thumbs? The owl asked. Who? The Queen, the royal Queen. She'll pass the farm today. Shall I salute? He asked the horse. The horse said, "Nay." "Shall I give her a gift?" he asked the wren. "A lovely memento for her to keep? An egg or a peach or a ear of corn?" The wren said, "Cheap. But should I curtsy or should I cheer? Oh, here's her carriage now. What shall I do?" he asked the dog. The dog said, "Bow." And so he did, and so she passed. Oh, tra-la-la-la-la. She smiled, she did, he told the sheep. The sheep said, "Bah."
Maxim, Mr. Hart here. So I just watched your performance, and you nailed that poem. Very well done. Your facial expressions, your movement, talent runs in your family. So just make sure I get your autograph, and I need to see you live on stage at some point as well. Okay. Think about what you're going to introduce next year in the poetry competition too. Okay. So be proud of yourself. Good work. And Merry Christmas.
The Good Life by Tracy K. Smith. When some people talk about money, they speak as if it were a mysterious lover who went out to buy milk and never came back. And it makes me nostalgic for the years I lived on coffee and bread, hungry all the time, walking to work on my payday. Like a woman journeying for water from a village without a well, then living 1 or 2 nights like everyone else on roast chicken and red wine.
Hi, Francisca. Mr. Hart here. Good performance. Very expressive. Well done. Hats off to you for participating in this. It takes courage to put yourself out there, and you did well. So have a very Merry Christmas. I think you can take pride in your work and what you produced here for this competition.
Charles Boudoir, spleen. I'm like the king of a rain country, rich but sterile, young but with an old wolf's itch, one who escapes felon and zappalocks and kills the day in boredom with his dogs. Nothing cheers him. Darts, tennis, falconry. His people dying in the balcony. The poetry of the pet hermaphrodite. No longer guessing through a single night. His bed of fleur-de-lis becomes a tomb. Even the ladies of the court, for whom all kings are beautiful, cannot put on shameful enough dresses for this skeleton. The scholar who makes his gold cannot invent washes to cleanse the poisoned element. Even in baths of blood, Rome's legacy, our tyrant's solace in senility. We cannot warm up his shot corpse, whose food in syrup green leaf you ooze, not blood.
Hi, Moimer. Mr. Hart here. I just saw your performance. I thought it was very creative, a very interesting interpretation of the poem. I like the atmosphere in your performance, the framing, the voice. I didn't know you had this dramatic side. So I hope you're in theater because I think you got some talent. Okay, keep submitting. Think about what poem you're going to do next year in the competition, 2022. All right, Merry Christmas.
Minute-led lighthouse by Fitz James O'Brien. Like spectral hounds across the sky, the white clouds scut before the storm, and naked in the howling night, the red-eyed lighthouse lifts its form. The waves with slippery fingers clutch the massive tower and climb and fall, and muttering growl with baffled rage their curses on the sturdy wall. Up in the lonely tower he sits, a keeper of the crimson light. Silent and awestruck does he hear the imprecations of the night. The white spray beats against the panes like some wet ghost that down the air is hunted by a troop of fiends and seeks a shelter anywhere. He prays aloud, the lonely man, for every soul that night at sea, but more than all for that brave boy who used to gaily climb his knee. Young Charlie, with his chestnut hair and hazel eye and laughing lip. May heaven look down, the old man cries, upon my son and on his ship. While thus with pious heart he prays, far in the distance sounds a boom. He pauses, and again there rings that sullen thunder through the room. A ship upon the shoal tonight. She cannot hold for 1/2 hour, but clear the ropes and grappling hooks, and trust in the almighty power. The drenched gallery stands, striving to pierce the solid night. Across the sea the red-eyed rose, a steady crimson wake of light. And when it falls upon the waves, he sees a human head float by, with long, drenched curls of chestnut hair and wild but fearless hazel eye. Out with the hooks, one mighty fling, along the wing long rope curls. Oh, will it catch? Ah, dread suspense, while the wild ocean wilder whirls. A steady pull, it dawns now. Oh, his old heart will burst with joy, as on the slippery rocks he pulls the breathing body of his boy. Still sweep the spectres through the sky, still scud the clouds before the storm. Still naked in the howling night, the red-eyed lighthouse lifts its form. Without, the world is wild of rage. Unkennelled demons are abroad. But with the Father and the Son, within there is peace with God.
Hi, Oliver. Mr. Hart here. I really enjoyed watching your performance. I think you did a brilliant job interpreting this poem. It was a long, difficult one, and yet you mastered it. Your movements were good, your expressions, your tone. You're a good actor. I hope to see you in some theater productions here at Nový PORG. Have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Excelsior by Walt Whitman. Who has gone farthest? For I would go farther. And who has been just? For I would be the most just person on the earth. And who cautious? For I would be more cautious. And who has been happiest? Oh, I think it is I. I think no one was ever happier than I. and who has lavished all, for I lavish constantly the best I have. And who proudest, for I think I have reason to be the proudest son alive, for I am the son of the brawny and tall-topped city. And who has been bold and true, for I would be the boldest and truest being of the universe. And who benevolent, for I would show more benevolence than all the rest. And who has received the love of the most friends. For I know what it is to receive the passionate love of many friends. And who possesses perfect and enamored body. For I do not believe that anyone possesses a more perfect or enamored body than mine. And who thinks the amplest thoughts? For I would surround those thoughts. And who has made hymns fit for the earth? For I am mad with devouring ecstasy to make joyous hymns for the whole earth.
Patrick, Mr. Hart here. I just watched your performance. Wow, that poem was a very difficult, long one to memorize, let alone get your head around. And you did it. I thought your interpretation was brilliant. It was good acting, good expressions, good movement, good tone, good intonation. Just you nailed it. So well done. Keep doing this. I didn't know you had a dramatical, theatrical side. That's kind of cool. I hope you do plays here at Nový PORG. All right. Have a Merry Christmas, too.
How Did You Die by Edmund Vance Cook. Did you tackle that trouble that came your way with a resolute heart and cheerful, or hide your face from the light of the day with a craven soul and fearful? Oh, a trouble's a ton, or a trouble's an ounce, or a trouble is what you make it. And it isn't the fact that you're hurt that counts, but only how did you take it? You're beaten to earth? Well, what's that? Come up with a smiling face. It's nothing against you to fall down flat, but to lie there? That's disgrace. The harder you're thrown, why the higher you bounce. Be proud of your blackened eye. It isn't the fact that you licked that counts. It's how did you fight, and why? And though you be done to death, what then? If you battled the best you could, if you played your part in the world of men, why, the critic will call it good. Death comes with a crawl, or comes with a pounce. And whether he's slow or spry, it isn't the fact that you're dead that counts, but only how did you die?
Hi, Nellie. Mr. Hart here. Just watched your performance. Well done. I think you interpreted the poem wonderfully. Your expressions were very, very good. And I thought your tone really matched the poem's tone. So very impressed. I think you can be proud of your work. I hope you keep doing this. And you probably should do some theater too. Maybe you do theater. I just don't know it. But you definitely have the knack for it. Merry Christmas.
I measure every grief I meet. Emily Dickinson. I measure every grief I meet with narrow, probing eyes. I wonder if it weighs like mine, or has an easier size. I wonder if they bore it long, or did it just begin? I could not tell the date of mine. It feels so old a pain. I wonder if it hurts to live, and if they have to try, and whether, could they choose between, it would not be to die. I note that some, gone patient long, at length renew their smile, an imitation of a light that has so little oil. I wonder if when years have piled some thousands on the harm that hurt them early, such a lapse could give them any balm. Or would they go on aching still through centuries of nerve, enlightened to a larger pain in contrast with the love? The grieved are many, I am told. There is the various cause. Death is but one, and comes but once, and only nails the eyes. There's grief of want, and grief of cold, a sort they call despair. There's banishment from native eyes, in sight of native air. And though I may not guess the kind correctly, yet to me, a piercing comfort it affords in passing Calvary, to note the fashions of the cross, and how they're mostly worn, still fascinated to presume that some are like my own.
Hi, Linda. Mr. Hart here. I just watched your performance. Wow. It was a long, difficult poem, and yet you put your head around it, and you figured it out, and you interpreted it brilliantly and creatively. Great expressions, great movements, great pacing, great intonation. I can tell you're a theater girl. And remind me, I need to get your autograph at some point, okay? Because you might be famous someday. I think it's possible because you're really, really good. Have a very, very Merry Christmas, and I hope you do this again next year, okay? Ciao.
Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land, and I paddle away from brave England's white sands, to search for my long ago forgotten friends, to search for the place I hear all sailors end. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my mind, I'll search without sleeping till peace I can find. I fear not the weather, I fear not the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. Plot a course through the night to a place I once knew, to a place where my hope died along with my crew. So I swallow my grief and face life's final test, to find promise of peace and the solace of rest. As the songs of the dead fill the space of my ears, their laughter like children, their beckoning cheers, my heart longs to join them, sing songs of the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me, when their bones in the ocean forever will be? When at last before my ghostly shipmates I stand, I shed a small tear for my home upon land. Though their eyes speak of death filled with struggle and strife, their smiles will all say I don't owe them my life. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my eyes, and my boat listed over and tried to capsize, I'm this far from drowning, this far from the sea. I remember the living, do they think of me, when my bones in the ocean forever will be? Now that I'm staring down at the darkest abyss, I'm not sure what I want, but I don't think it's this. As my comrades call to stand fast and for John, I make sail for the dawn till the darkness has gone. As the souls of the dead live forever in my mind, as I live all the years that they left me behind, I'll stay on the shore, must still gaze at the sea. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be.
Hi boys, Mr. Hart here. So I just listened to your performance, Bones in the Ocean, and very playful, very fun. I think it might have added an extra dance to my step, put a new song into my heart, I don't know. But it was a very, very good contribution. And I liked the little hats that you made there, that you all were wearing digitally. And it's Christmas, right? And Christmas should be fun and festive, and you made it more fun and festive. So thanks for your contribution, and think about what you're going to do next year in the 2022 poetry competition, because you got to top this. I mean, this is good, but you got to top it, okay? So start thinking now, all right? Merry Christmas.
So there you have it. We very much hope that you enjoyed the performances, and we're looking forward to your participation next year. Before we go, I must give heartfelt thanks again to Renee Selikovitz, Brennan Errett, Alan Matthews and Douglas Hart for their keen judging skills. A big thank you too to Ad Chapova and Julie Novakova for their help behind the scenes. Huge thanks and praise, of course, go to all the participants. It remains a huge challenge for the judges to make the fine judgments that separate the winners from the other contestants. You know that we appreciate you all and that your participation will be rewarded. As I said earlier in the video, it's been really amazing to see long-standing participants return to the fray and give their very best. I'm really excited to see what you come up with next year. Congratulations to you all, and let's look forward to another dramatic poetry recital competition next December.
Mu süda ärka üles ja kiida loojat lauldes, kes kõik head meile annab ja muret ikka kannab. Kui magama heitsin, pea isa sülle peitsin, mind saatan tahtis neelda, kuid isa võttis keelda. Jää rahul, ütlesid sina, mu laps sind kaitsen nii. ta ei saa kahju teha, sa saad veel päeva näha. Su sõna tõeks on läinud, ma olen päeva näinud, ei hädas on huuli, mind varjas sinu vägi, seest nüüd sind ma tänan, suurt au sulle annan, sul ohvrin õhkamisi ja pühi palumisi. Su heldus jäägu mulle, mu süda templiks sulle. Su sõna mind siin toitku, teeb taeva poole näitku. Mu süda ärka üles ja kiida loojat lauldes, kes kõik head meile annab ja muret ikka kannab.
Nový